Usually I like to keep things a bit more buttoned up with videos like these, but I think I'm going to freeform jazz this one a little bit. What's up everybody, my name is Sen, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I want to discuss the very basics of fighting game archetypes with you guys. It's come to my attention, particularly with new players, that when I say that I want a new player to play the matchup, they really just have no general idea of what I mean by that. Playing the matchup directly refers to making use of the tools in your character's archetype. I want to start with the basic archetypes and then we can expand a little bit from there. Archetypes like Rushdown or Zoner or Grappler. The one that's kind of changed the most over time is Shoto. Let's start with about as classic as it gets, the Zoner versus the Rushdown. Within your archetype almost is directly your goal, so the goal of the Zoner is to keep your opponent out with either projectiles or making use of normals, pushing your opponent away and keeping them out. Conversely, the goal of the Rushdown is to make their way in as much as possible, whether that be special moves or jumping at your opponent, literally however they can to get in. Now, because these two archetypes are at odds with each other with their goals, it accentuates their archetype that much further. Because Cammy wants to go in, Guile's goal even more so is to keep Cammy out. Because Guile's goal is to keep her out, Cammy wants to get in that much more. Now what about something like Rushdown with Cammy versus a grappler like Zangief? Both characters' goal here is to go in, but the risk versus reward is actually weighted on the side of Zangief because Cammy just has more to lose. She's less tanky, she can take less hits. Zangief has one big move that he can throw out where Cammy needs multiple situations to have things stack in her favor. But I mean, if Cammy gets offense started, you know, things change a little bit. If she can get her game plan going before like Zangief can get his, it is more beneficial towards Cammy. But with that said, in this case, Cammy might make better use of her like extended or good normals here to keep Zangief out as much as she can. She's going to play a little bit more reactive. The big thing I want to note here, especially towards new players, is if there's any kind of health differential going on, that kind of flips things on their head a little bit. So in the matchup like Ed versus Zangief, Ed is a mid-range character. This is actually my main character. So typically his goal would be to keep Zangief out as much as possible, control the space with either his normals or special moves or whatever. His goal is to keep him out. With that said, if I, as Ed, have a health deficit, my goal flips on its head. It is now my goal to make up for that health deficit and go in and recover any kind of lead that we can. So the funny thing is the two most recent players that I've been teaching have kind of had the reverse problem. Where in Brennan's case, for 2xKO, when Teemo's on the screen, he's totally fine with zoning and playing the range game, and that's perfectly fine, but the problem comes from when he is at a health deficit and he needs to go in and get offense started. It's like he doesn't know that he needs to switch up, and I've seen multiple times that has resulted in him getting a timeout and losing the round because of it. With that said though, I'm not going to pretend like I know how to play Teemo at all. Where Brennan's problem is switching from playing reactive to like aggressive and going in and starting his offense, Andrew actually has the exact opposite problem, where Andrew is super down to go in and start his offense and try to play his game. But it's when he has a health advantage that he should consider switching it up a little bit more. So if he has a lead, he can be okay with playing reactive, going and controlling the screen with fireballs, or reacting with 6p anti-air or 2h anti-air, or I don't know how to DP with this character. The reason why this is important and like just allowing yourself to like hang back and kind of play lame is you are doing a job to mitigate any kind of risk to your health bar. This is the danger zone. It doesn't matter what character you're playing. It doesn't matter what archetype you're playing. Like if your opponent gets a stray hit up close, that's obviously more dangerous than having the advantage and hanging back and playing lame, right? You're risking your health bar if you're going in. So you're playing the matchup, but that's augmented around if you have a health advantage or a health deficit. So if you have a health advantage, you might be okay with playing more lane, or if you have a health disadvantage, you might have to get aggressive, even if your archetype isn't directly tied to being aggressive. We've talked about Rushdown, we've talked about grapplers, we've talked about zoners. Now for the interesting one, which is the Shotos, and like the term Shoto has changed a lot over the years, typically referred to characters that study Shotokan karate, aka characters like Ryu, Ken, fucking, where's this bitch? Akuma, but it's been very much stretched to fit a lot more characters like Terry are considered a Shoto. Luke is a Shoto. Sagat's like, he's a weird one. Like, he's a zoner, but he's got the Shoto tool. I don't know with that one. That one's a little weird. I think historically, Sagat is a zoner. Now, what does it actually mean to be a Shoto? Well, Shotos typically have very like middle of the road tools. Let's set aside current character strength right now and how good they are or are not. The goal of the Shoto is to directly answer whatever your opponent is playing and what their win condition is. So in Cammy's case, Cammy wants to go in. Ryu might be okay in relegating himself more to a zoner approach, doing his best to keep her out. Conversely, if he's fighting a zoner, he's going to look to go in as much as he can. He wants to be close because you want to keep him away. He wants to close that gap. Okay, this is where we get into the actual stretching of the Shoto archetype, because both these characters are considered Shotos, and that just means they have things like a fireball and a DP and things of that nature. In Soul's case, he has a Tatsu-like move, but now even though they share the same Shoto archetype, their goal is very different. I look at Kai as more of like a mid-range, using his good normals and pokes. Like Shoto in parentheses, mid-range, like good normals, all that good stuff. But Soul is like Shoto in parentheses, like I'm just gonna try to do as much damage to you as possible type of situation. And that was a terrible combo. Like, as experienced players, we all know this. We all know the win conditions. We all know the archetypes of characters that we're playing. We know their strengths, weaknesses, all that. We have the experience. The problem is when you're new and you look at something like balance, like what the fuck does that even mean? Soul and Kai share the balance archetype, but no. Fuck no. And it's not like everyone makes a dedicated video talking about like, oh, these are all the characters' archetypes, here you go. It's just a matter of experience. Like, you play and you go and you figure out these things, like what kind of archetype of character you're fighting. You find out that Giovanna is a rushdown character. I mean, it says here, but like, you don't know what that means until you know what that means exactly. You fight a number of Giovannas, you know what to look out for and defend against. You know the strengths of your tools to combat someone rushing you down or zoning you or whatever it may be. I mean, in a game like Dragon Ball, like, archetypes don't even really exist. Even characters like zoners or grapplers are very blurred because the pace of the game is so fast that it's just better to play offense almost always, no matter what. And with this too, I didn't even cover all the archetypes, but let's finish off with the game and let's get out of here. All right, okay, we can immediately figure out what is going on in this match. So I am playing someone that is like neutral, like mid-range. My opponent is playing a grappler. Their goal is to get in. My goal right now is to keep them out as much as possible. Okay, immediately got the burst. Oh my god, I did the wrong thing. I did fucking 2x KO grab. We're just gonna throw H fireball. It's good if we... Yeah, I'll burst. That was honestly low-key terrible burst, but it's fine. Dragon install. We have to install a dragon to win. It's mandatory. Wall break. Huge. And you have to install a dragon to win. Obviously, if we're in a health deficit, like I said, we have some catching up to do, but generally, not bad. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch out for Mega Fist as well. I think that only has like 2 hits of armor on it. Knockdown, H fireball, plus frames. Shit. Big DP, that's very fortunate for us. Okay, got his burst. Huge. We're gonna do H fireball here. We baited a throw tech. That's huge. And we got the kill here. Game 1 going to us. Yeah, we're just either getting our offense started. With that said, it is a risk to go in like that. Or we're trying to control space. The thing with Potemkin is he has really good tools to get himself in as well. So he's making really good use of his tools here. Okay, reflecting my fireball because I'm trying to keep him in space. We're just making use of our normals, block stringing him. Ah, that was a good pot buster. And then yeah, he gets part of his win condition. PRC. Oh, I thought he was getting PRC throw. Okay, we got his burst. That's huge for us. Wow, that anti-aired me. That was insane. Oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna burst here. That was actually really not a good burst. We're gonna install a dragon, of course, because that's it's not our win condition, but I like to believe it is. Oh shit. Oh shit! Okay. I actually don't know if Mega Fist is plus or not. I actually don't remember. I think it's minus. I think back Mega Fist is plus. But I'm not sure about forward Mega Fist. I don't have the patch notes in front of me. Okay, knockdown. Getting shock state is really good for us as well. Punish that. Set up H fireball because that helps us get our offense started. And then enabling our shock state is really good too. Anytime we can get shock state on a character is massive. Okay, I have no idea how to handle this. We just simply jumped right over and that's awesome for us. Oh shit. Okay, we got his burst. We're gonna set up H fireball because we're not gonna be able to kill anyways. Going for the low. It's beautiful. We're setting up safe offense behind H fireball, and it's keeping us in a little bit more better condition because, you know, it is scary to engage on this character. So we have to engage the safest way that we can. Punish there. That's huge. H fireball to set up our offense. And now we have meter 2. Counter hit. That was a really not a great use of meter, I'll be honest. Oh, we got anti-air there, but he can't really do much. Damn, I thought it was over for me. Yeah, like I said, I think he was minus there. We're going to set up H fireball once again on our knockdown to get offense started. Beautiful. Deep. Oh, I didn't get my DP to break the wall, but that's okay. All we have to do now is just play lame. And we got him chipped out. Even though he PRC'd there, he didn't really have much of an option. If he FD'd, he would have been fine, but game 2 going to us. Oh, and that's it. That is our set. So yeah, like we discussed, things change a little bit. I have to start setting up offense if I am at a health deficit. But we just played the matchup. We played very defensive. We set up offense safely, so we didn't risk our health bar really by going in. And yeah, we just played the matchup exactly as intended. So that's going to do things. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.